All right. Hi, Vermont history students. What's up? Yo, it's the end of the semester. And it's a shame because I dig teaching the Vermont history class at the beginning of the summer, and when it ends it feels like the initial sort of early happy phase of the summer is over, and then the summer flies by. So it's been 6 weeks. It's been good. Thank you so much for all of your contributions and everything. I want to keep this video super short in the same way that I was just now revising the unit for Unit 12, the last unit, which is today and tomorrow. This is Wednesday. And actually last year, just to give you a frame of reference, last year I did the Take Back Vermont movement stuff as part 1 of the first section of Unit 12, and it didn't seem like there was any response to it and people had any idea about it because it was the end and everyone was trying to finish up their final papers and it just seemed like a huge rush. So I pushed the Take Back Vermont to Unit 11 and just kept this incredibly short. The goal is let's finish on time, which really should mean Friday. I think I can probably turn grades in by Monday, but by Friday would be great. And what that entails is there's a discussion question for Unit 11, and I have checked and will check again because it's about 10:30 now, and you have another hour and a half to get in your responses to the Unit 11 question about Take Back Vermont. And then on Friday there is no discussion question for Unit 12. There's just a town meeting, and I took the liberty of picking a couple topics. Usually what I do is I ask students in class, what do you want to debate about? Contemporary issues. But I just figured it was easier in an online course just to pick. So I picked 3 things, plus the chicken pie battle, which is the key to the whole semester. And then so please do respond to the town meeting by Friday as opposed to next Monday. Friday would be great. And then papers. Trevor has gotten all 3 of his papers in. I have 2 papers from 2 more of you, and I'm expecting papers, and then I have 1 paper from 2 more of you after that, and I'm expecting to have all of the papers done hopefully by Friday and I'll reward you for it, and I'll go back over all of the discussion questions in town meetings to see how much you contributed, and I'll give you a grade hopefully you think you deserve and that you think is fair. But write me if you're confused or have any questions. To be brief, and it's a brief unit, Unit 12, really the way I designed it this time was it revolves around 2 primary documents, and you can look and see that they are in the unit folder, and then there's a little bit of outline, and I cut that way back as well. And the 2 documents, one is on working landscapes, and it's a study of working landscapes and how you keep landscapes not just scenic and beautiful and for the gaze of outsiders, but actually meaningful working landscapes. And the other one is the Council on the Future of Vermont, a report that came out a couple years ago. And what I want you to do is not read the whole things comprehensively, but get a feel for them, because what you want to do in finishing out the course is you want the course to be able to explain to you where we are in time and space as far as the flow of Vermont history goes. And that's what this course is about. History is not a bunch of dates and facts. It is a story that you tell yourself about who you are and about yourself. And when I had this assignment about measuring unity and how unified was Vermont at various times and what were the dynamics that created unity or disunity, the whole idea is built around that ultimately at the end of the semester you're able to pick up the Burlington Free Press or 7 Days or look on TV or watch Bernie run for president or whatever, and have a really good sort of grasp of, or at least a way to begin to think about, where are we in place and time as far as the unity of the community of Vermonters. What is it like now? And what is historical perspective? What things have led to now? And how does now compare to the past? And that's what it's really fundamentally about. It's all about now, and it's all about you. And hopefully the course has served that purpose. So look at those 2 primary documents, skim through them, get a good sense of what they're about, and have an opinion about if this is what the downhill minds, and they try to be very inclusive about including uphillers, but the downhillers write the reports as always. And of course, I mean, it's a fundamental thing about it is uphillers are becoming more downhill all the time. And it's not just the downhillers' great dream about turning uphillers into downhillers. It has to do with globalization and iPhones and MTV and all of the sort of internet and all of the things that are making the world smaller. The decline of dairy farms, you know, improved transportation, all of these things have made it so that over the last half century, much less over the last 10 years, uphillers, you know, have become less uphill. Are downhillers becoming more uphill, though? I mean, are we really moving towards a centrality to it? You need to really sort of have a sense of that, because Vermont is an extraordinary place. I imagine some of you aren't going to end up living here after you graduate or whatever, and the course is really designed around the idea of trying to make it so that the course produces people who are prepared to stay in Vermont and contribute to the future of Vermont as it moves towards trying to perfect human living. But whether you're going to stay or not, take seriously this idea that Vermont 250 years ago began as an experiment in human living. It needed to be an exciting idea. Vermont was embattled on all sides, the British, New York, New Hampshire, and in order to survive, in order to become independent, it needed to capture people's imaginations. And what the founders came up with was this idea that Vermont would be the place that would perfect human living. The most fundamental, contradictory experiences of life, people wanting to be free and also equal, could be reconciled here, and life would be proven not to be a zero-sum game. And all the way through Vermont's history, this is what it's always been about. And the vagaries of what happened along the way, the fact that Vermont did not become industrial but became so rural, all the other things bound up in that, the rise of tourism, the interstate highways, everything, is bound up in this ongoing experiment that you're a part of. If you're living in the state, you're a part of this experiment in trying to perfect human living, in trying to prove that the more free you are, the less equality you have, is not true, and that these things can coexist and even cultivate each other. So I'm looking forward to, you know, some opinions at the end about where we're at as far as how that goes. You know, is Vermont now currently more unified than it was in the past? Are we moving in the direction of trying to reconcile freedom and unity successfully? Are we moving away from the goal? Because there's one thing you kick around in an online course, in on-campus course, is of course, freedom and unity have never been perfectly balanced. It's never been done. And indeed, in a lot of ways, the founders set Vermont up as a perpetual experience of failure, experiment in failing. Was there ever a day when freedom and unity were perfectly balanced for everyone all the time? Probably not, and it'll probably never happen. But does that mean it's not a goal worth trying to attempt? I think it is. Let's keep moving towards it. Why, and especially with all the resources and tools and things available to us now, why not now being the kind of perfect time for us to do our best in order to prove to the world that life is not a zero-sum game, and that Vermont is the perfect laboratory to prove that human beings can live in a free yet civilized society. And I guess that's really all I want to say, other than write me and tell me what you want, and other than that, please do finish your papers and do the town meeting, and we're all good. All right, bye.